All right, so this video is the video that kind of introduces you to the idea of where functions, in this case a quartic function, x to the fourth, increases and decreases. Now, before you start freaking out saying, I've never seen this before, it's so scary, it's going to be okay, because we're only concerned about where the graph is basically going upwards and downwards. But key things to remember, we're only looking at the graph going left to right. Just like how we read a book, we only read the graph going left to right, meaning we're only concerned about the x values. We could care less about what's happening with the y value. We only care about the x value when we're talking about this. Okay? Now, in this graph, you'll notice that the graph is, again, going down on both ends. So let's take a look at this left part here. So as it's going down, you'll also notice, it's very hard to see because we have such a small picture, it's going down, but it's also going outwards, right? Now, I made it super curved like that because it's very hard to see unless you have a really big window. But it's not really going down, it's going out. So the graph, if we let it go down and out forever and ever and ever, where is it going to reach? Negative infinity, okay? So, negative infinity. And starting at negative infinity, which we'll just say is here on the Google Chrome symbol on my computer, it's starting at negative infinity, it's going up, 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 until it gets to, until it gets to about right here, right? It's going upwards until it reaches that point. And I know it's not exactly there, but we could just guesstimate where that is. So right there is about negative 1 on the x value, right? Because I don't care about the y value, I care about the x value. So it's going up until it reaches negative 1 on the x value. So we call that increasing. So the function is increasing from negative infinity to negative 1. And the way that we actually write that, like that's how we say it and think about it, but we write it in interval notation, which we use parentheses, just like an ordered pair. And I know students are like, well, wait, it's an ordered pair. Like, that doesn't make sense. But we're talking about intervals here, and intervals use parentheses and brackets, which we'll talk about later on. But if you write increasing by there, a teacher won't mistake that, oh, they're talking about interval, not an ordered pair. So, it's increasing from negative infinity to negative 1. Okay? Now, let's take a look at another spot where it's going upwards. Again, we're reading it left to right. So right here to right here. Look at that other blue section. Isn't it going upwards in those two directions? Yes, it is. Where does it start going up? Well, and again, we care about the x value, so it starts going up at 0 and stops going up at the x value of 1. Okay? So, we only look at the x values. So from 0 to 1, it's going up as well. Okay? So, from 0 to 1, it's also increasing. All right, now I'll do this in red. Let's talk about decreasing, meaning where the graph is going down. Okay? Well, it starts right here, correct? This part's going down. And it starts going down at the x value, negative 1. And where does it stop going down? At the x value of 0. So from negative 1 to 0, it's decreasing. Meaning, reading it left to right, the graph is going down. And then the second spot it goes down is this part right here. Okay? And remember, at the bottom of the graph, it's not going down, it's going out. Okay? So it's decreasing starting at 1. But as it's going down and out, most students will say, oh, it's going down to the negative infinity. But we don't care about the y value, we care about the x value. So it's going down, but like I said, it's also going out to the right. So that means it's actually going to positive infinity. Okay? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the intervals of increase and decrease. We're finding those spots in the graph that's usually given to you, where the graph is going up, going left to right, or down, going left to right, increasing and decreasing. Now, like I said, there could be parentheses or brackets. With continuous functions like this and any usual polynomial, it will always be continuous, so you don't need to worry about brackets. However, they do exist, and we'll do another video about that. So hopefully this gives you a slight introduction of increasing and decreasing. I'll do another video to kind of give you another example.